I'm Maddie.
I'm Amber.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot.
We are the weirdos in this one.
Like a song, like a sailor snubble. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. Sam.
Wow. Hey everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be discussing a very relaxing topic. We're going to be talking all about soothing herbs and how you can incorporate them into your life.
Oh, yes. And not just the top, because I'm sure everybody thinks chamomile, lavender. Not sure if they have another but lavender and chamomile, I know is everybody's go-to for soothing herbs, but there's so much more that you can use in the herbal world for soothing your system, both inside and outside.
Right. And there's so many more ways to include these herbs into your day-to-day lifestyle. It's not just drinking tea, which is what I think people originally think or automatically go to. Of course, there's oils and there's lotions and there's
topical, just washes. Think of rose water for the face. That's calming. It's good for your skin and it's calming for your skin, which internally, if you think about it, our skin is our biggest organ. So a lot of the things that I started thinking about when I was thinking about soothing herbs were that which would soothe our bodies, not just inside, but outside. Because
that would be anti-inflammatory herbs like rosemary and turmeric.
But also vanilla and sandalwood are great for the skin in anti-inflammatory ways, and it helps relax the skin and cools it. Grapefruit is great for the skin and helps relax the skin. And you wouldn't necessarily think that about a citrus oil, but there's so many things.
Yes. So good. So I guess we'll start out, if you don't mind me saying, we'll start out with the basic lavender and chamomile. Everybody knows all about those. Chamomile before bed helps you sleep. Lavender, wearing lavender essential oils or spraying lavender spray on your pillow or making a little herbal satchel and putting it under your pillow.
Or mixing lavender with basil. It's amazingly calming. You can use it both as a tea kind of thing or as topical for your bath. You can put lavender and basil in your bath water. It's a very calming bath.
It is. I was just talking to my husband about the kids, and I'm not saying I'm going to do this because I'm not, but the kids' lavender melatonin bubble bath. You know them kids out. My husband's like, I don't know. I feel like I would pass out. He's like, I don't want him to fall asleep in the bath.
That's not funny. No, I did not mean to laugh at that. That I was just I was laughing at what was said, not what was said.
Lavender and chamomile, I think. And if you look places like TJ Maxx, Ross, the mall, online, Amazon, and even, small businesses. So many people offer things like sprays and things you can put on your feet.
Yeah, I saw a lot of foot soaks, but what surprised me were a lot of them were yarrow and mugwort. Because mugwort is very good for relaxing muscles. It also helps stimulate blood flow.
Right, yarrow kind of stills blood flow, right? You can grind it up and put it on a wound, and it'll
it's good for wound healing, and it helps sore muscles, just like the mugwort helps with sore muscles, and they help with sore muscles in different ways. Like you said, the yarrow kind of stops things from flowing. The mugwort encourages it so that the right things are getting the right amount of blood flow. And it's interesting that these herbs are so intuitive because jasmine in itself is an intuitive herb. So jasmine can stimulate a depressed nervous system. So if you're feeling depressed, you can use jasmine oil or jasmine tea or inhaling the vapors from jasmine to uplift yourself. But if you're having
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're having insomnia,
Mhm.
you can make jasmine tea and it will relax the
Yes.
central nervous system
Mhm.
so that you can sleep. And it does both things. The same herb does both things because it intuitively reacts to what your nervous system needs, which is fucking amazing because truly there's a plant for that.
Jasmine is very, very commonly used by women during their menstrual cycle.
Yes.
Because it helps with cramps, because it can help take that pain.
If you make a wash of it and you put it on the skin, it can help dry up milk if you need to end your milk production.
I did not know that. Thank you
Yeah.
for letting me know.
Yes, don't use it topically.
I
don't
won't.
know
I
about
wonder about
ingesting it.
ingesting it. But thank
I
you.
didn't
did
see
not know
that at all, but it said it can be put on the skin to
Okay.
help reduce milk production.
Okay,
So
yeah.
if for whatever reason you need to not produce anymore, then you could just make a jasmine tea and then you just put the liquid on your flush. I mean,
Yeah,
this-
that's very interesting. I appreciate that because I know that you should avoid like peppermints and mints and things
Mhm.
like that, but it never occurred to me. Jasmine, a flower,
Yeah.
could be that way.
yeah,
Speaking of
of mint, which is also good for
soothing an upset
soothing-
stomach,
well, yeah, but it's
But
also
soothing-
help with stress.
stress.
I mean, just like lavender is kind of your go-to in this way, mint is my go-to. If I am sick, I want mint tea. I
Oh, it's so
want
good
mint.
when you have strep throat.
Oh my God, if I have an upset stomach, pop a peppermint.
Mhm.
It's so good, like you said, for an upset
Well,
stomach.
and not
like,
just the flavor, but the scent itself helps with nausea.
it helps with headaches too. I used to make my husband this headache oil that was basil and peppermint and some other stuff. And like he would just, if he was getting a headache while he was driving, he'd open the bottle, he'd just smell the oil and it would clear the headache up.
Oh, yeah.
Like just smelling it.
Actually,
don't
you
have to
say
put
that
it
I'm
on.
struggling. I'm like, oh, I got kind of a headache right now. I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
that
like
would be a great idea.
he recently made a salve that I have on my headache because
Really?
it's helping make it bearable. Because it's like it's got wintergreen and some other stuff
Mhm.
in it. But it's really nice.
Ginger is a very soothing herb. It
is.
soothes upset tummies.
It
It's
soothes
an
skin.
antacid. It soothes
It's an
skin.
anti-inflammatory.
Now, it can be kind of warm on the skin, so be careful if you're going
Right. I mean, it depends. Yeah, I don't mean straight ginger oil, like a ginger wash, like ginger tea,
Mhm.
you know. Like
But
that
it's
can
still,
soothe
to me,
skin.
ginger still produces that almost
a
same
warming-
cooling, warm, but
Warming to cooling like
peppermint.
does.
Yes, exactly. So when I made a homemade Vicks vapor rub, well, that's bad. Homemade vapor rub.
Yeah.
When I made a homemade vapor rub, I did peppermint, ginger, because ginger also opens up the
Yes,
airways.
it
Yes.
does.
Of course, I did chamomile. Oh, I have this recipe written down. I think I did passion flower. Speaking of very soothing, passion flower is something people often take to go to sleep. You can take it pill form, like
Excuse me.
before bed. You can take it. But anyway, just rubbing that on your chest. Oh, eucalyptus and spearmint. And that kind of was very soothing.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I won't lie, I like ginger for a cough, like
Mhm.
100%.
Oh,
like
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, one thing that I really noticed that all of these herbs have in common that are able to help relieve stress and soothe us, and whether it's just calm us down or help get us into sleep, a lot of them have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. The anti-inflammatories help swelling go down, they help circulation happen. The antioxidants, they help with cell repair and growth, which is something that we do while we're sleeping, you know? And that made a lot of sense to me that like these herbs would help us go to sleep. And then while we're asleep and they're in our system, they'd help repair our cells and renew them.
Well, it
Because
makes
ginger's great for repairing and renewing
it
cells.
makes sense, like you
so-
said, that they would be anti-inflammatories because one, inflammatory causes pain,
Yeah.
but it also can cause things like anxiety as well.
Yes.
Or people who are often diagnosed with depression and anxiety have some sort of autoimmune inflammatory disease.
No, that makes sense.
Not
because,
all the
like,
time, but often.
think about it. Like inside your body's all clenched up.
Mhm.
You're all clenched
Yes,
up.
exactly.
But also I was thinking because it helps that blood flow, so it helps all of our body systems work better, right? And the antioxidants help healing and protecting everything at the same time. And in these, a lot of these soothing herbs, a lot of them help you get to sleep. And when we're asleep, we're most vulnerable. So like these herbs have a lot of spiritually protective properties like lavender, mugwort, mint, basil. A lot of these are great for cleansing and protection. And they'll, if you're ingesting it before you go to sleep, then you've got all of that in you while you're at your most vulnerable and while your body's doing the most work to heal it. You know what I mean?
You know what's also a really soothing plant, not really an herb, but we haven't mentioned it yet, which would be aloe vera. Aloe vera is
I'm allergic, so I did not think of it at all.
aloe vera is very soothing to things like sunburns, things like kitchen burns, as well as cuts and scrapes. You can rub it on there topically. You can ingest it. I don't suggest doing it like straight from the plant, but you.
And then they have those waters.
I've actually drank the waters, and I'm going to be honest with you, it helped with my GERD, which is like severe acid reflux. It helped heal my GERD because it's also an antacid. So when you ingest it, it's definitely slime. It's like pulp in orange juice, which I'm not a fan of.
No.
But I did drink it for the antacid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. Like I loved aloe vera. We used to have the place. My husband grows them. We have them here. But I, as a child in Florida, overused aloe vera. So if you use it too much, you can develop an allergy when you're putting it on your little sunburn because you're pale as shit and you live in Florida. Just saying. Just say it. Warning, fair warning. Don't overuse it. Don't overuse it on your sunburns.
Just be careful not to get sunburns. I say this now because it's a totally different time, but sunburns can be really bad for you. I got a sunburn so bad one time when I was a kid. It was so bad. I looked like a fucking Klingon. My entire back was blistered. I could hardly sleep. I mean, I was blistered for weeks. My nose was blistered, my back and shoulders. I looked like an alien Klingon.
Yeah, I got such a bad sunburn once that Lolly and I fell asleep on the beach at the lake. Now we were under the umbrella, but Corey and the other kids played so long that the umbrella's shade had moved off us, and we were laying there sleeping. The skin on my legs has never been the same. Like it has a different texture after it healed from the blisters. Like I couldn't bathe. I couldn't even put clothes on.
You know, that just pisses me off because that reminds me of the time my husband put lotion on my back. Now, tell me why I got the worst fucking sunburn and there was a fucking man handprint right where he put it on my back. He rubbed it in. Shut the fuck up. Why is there one single smear right down my back that's not burnt? All my shoulders are back. It was literally right down the middle. You didn't fucking try. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna go play in the fucking water like I'm fucking 10. Oh, I'm still pissed about that shit, dude. I don't trust him to this day. To this day.
Oh no.
To put lotion on.
Yeah, this was like I had put sunscreen on before that. We were going to leave earlier, but then the older girls wanted to keep playing in the lake and Corey was like down. And I was like, fine, we're gonna lay here. And I nursed Lolly and we ended up falling asleep under the umbrella. But then the sun moved, so the shade moved, and then my legs and her back, it was horrible.
Jesus.
Well, I wasn't just my legs. My legs just got the worst of it because they got uncovered first. And then the shade moved the rest of the way, you know what I mean? Because like originally we were completely covered in shade because we had this great big amazing beach umbrella before it broke. It was a great beach umbrella. Not on topic. but it was
Well,
soothing.
speaking of soothing herbs, I'm gonna throw in some pop culture references. One, Prey. I don't know if you actually watched that one. That
Yeah.
was the alien
Uh-huh.
predator. Dude, that was yarrow. The yellow flower that they
Yes.
used because it lowered the temperature, which is what yarrow will
Yarrow
do.
can reduce the fever.
It,
Heals wounds.
It heals wounds. It slows the blood flow. She used that herb. Sorry, I got goosebumps. She
Yeah.
used that herb, that yellow flower,
She would
to
fuck that
fucking
movie.
to fucking. You don't think she would beat?
No, God, no. No. You couldn't beat Predator.
I've seen Predator versus Alien, but people say to watch it because there's like some serious tension in there between Predator and the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, am I crazy? Do you know what I like?
No, I know what you're talking about. Like,
doesn't
he's like, they cool. He's like, she earns his respect.
yeah, like I saw a clip on my book talk. Enough said, but it was
But
like
also,
he made
they
like
have
a
a
weapon
shared
for her.
enemy.
Yeah,
He wasn't hunting her. In this one, he's hunting her. There's a big difference. Because
Okay.
when Predator's hunting you, you ain't getting away.
so,
But they had a shared enemy.
uh-huh.
So that's why
They worked
They were,
together.
yeah.
And like I saw the clip where he like made her a weapon. That's romantic. Like, are you kidding me?
Predator's sexy as fuck.
Predator
I'll
made
send you
her an
that.
alien. He's like, come on. Like, damn.
Oh, not damn, but
Wow. Wait.
Zane.
Oh,
Many enemies. Most recent seasons.
I know that there are soothing herbs as well mentioned in series like Harry Potter, for example. You know, they mention a lot of real herbs like mandrake, which is the exact opposite.
Yeah, don't use mandrake.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
It's
do
cool
that. I
looking.
wish I had.
It's cool.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't mentioned that. But they have dreamless sleep drink, which is made out of a bunch of herbs. And I believe that we can actually make a dreamless sleep.
Oh, I'm
potion.
sure.
I know. Shit, just smoke a lot of weed. Dreamless sleep. You know?
I mean,
or the opposite, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, but also like just from the standpoint of you could, I'm sure, like belladonna, you could
Oh, I'm
probably
sure.
get a dreamless sleep out of some belladonna.
I'm sure.
Not recommending. Also
Yes.
poisonous.
Yes, exactly. But like,
Even though it is a sedative, so it does go with those soothing herbs, I guess. But didn't look into it because not going there. Not going there.
yeah, that's a liability issue.
Yeah. No.
But I think I told you there was a guy in Springfield that sold truffles infused with belladonna and
Yes.
infused with mugwort. It was just enough.
Yeah, it got me thinking about eating belladonna per day.
It is very dangerous because it was just enough for you to feel the kind of high
But, like,
/ calming.
I don't know if I trust
I don't.
anybody enough
Mhm.
to eat their belladonna concoction. I don't know if I trust me enough.
I don't trust
concoction.
me enough.
And I trust me with a lot of things. I
Yeah.
won't lie, I do.
Yeah.
But I will say the show The Magicians, they did a lot of great stuff with herbs, like herb lore and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I was surprised. And
Was there anything mentioned in like the Lord of the Rings that was kind of calming? I thought.
I know they chewed some kind of leaves, and there's a lot of I mean, they had they smoked the one herb.
The one herb.
Yeah.
The
Halflings weed.
weed.
Yes. Love that. Love that.
But a lot of fantasy, but it's not fantasy. Fantasy is based on reality,
Yeah.
which I'm gonna have to bring it up. I'm sorry, but the moon tea in Game of Thrones is very real, very real.
I was thinking about that. So funny because I was thinking about Game of Thrones and they had some teas in there that were.
They definitely have the moon tea, which is unfortunately not recommended, and it's a real recipe. Like George R. Martin had to. I think what did he put? Pennyroyal was one of them, which is a very soothing herb.
And a beautiful song, Kurt. It's Penny Royalty. It's about abortion.
Oh, is it? Is
Yeah.
it? But it is a very
Drink
soothing.
some Penny Royalty, kill the life that's inside of me.
What the fuck?
I mean, you'll see what you for a boarding school.
It really
But if you
was.
drank too much, you could kill yourself.
Right,
So
right.
he might have been talking about what people say, one or the other. I don't know. Eat my cancer when I come back. So, I mean, not all the lyrics can mean something. Right.
Mhm.
Because
I don't think I've
my
ever.
shit box.
But it is a soothing herb. It is. And there's another one that's also a very soothing herb that you shouldn't use. I guess I shouldn't mention them if you can't use them. I saw a funny post on TikTok while we're talking about herbs, and it was like, here's some really good plants women should plant in their garden. And it was foxglove and morning glory
Digitalis. Okay. Morning glory. Okay.
and belladonna. And I was like, these all have one thing in common. Morning glories are extremely toxic. Morning glories have killed children. Lily of the Valley is extreme.
I will not say that. I'm not going to say this. I'm going to, yeah.
I'm so
No, you're good. I do not. I'm not going to say what's in my head. But foxglove is both healing and hurting.
is it?
Yes, foxglove is digitalis, and it's a heart medication or something like that.
Uh-huh.
They use to like restart a heart, but
Uh-huh.
it can also cause a heart attack, which is why foxglove is dangerous.
Speaking of healing and soothing, the tree. What is the fucking tree? We did an episode on it. It's aspirin.
The willow.
Is it willow?
Is it the willow that gives us aspirin? I believe the willow is what gives us aspirin out of its bark.
And you can
We
chew
did
on the
do an
bark and it
episode
can
about
help with.
You
like-
guys should go listen to the Trace Trees episodes and then let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, if you haven't yet. Yeah.
Is there anything else you can think to say? Because I'm like, we were talking about soothing. We're going off into fatal.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing about herbs, though. They are helping and hurting. Like, if you take too much of anything, it's not a good thing.
Well, and that's the thing about
But you could
soothing
take some things
herbs.
daily, like as a tea, but you don't want to take necessarily the concentrate every day.
Right.
You can use the concentrate on your flesh, but you want to dilute it first, like with
Exactly.
a carrier oil.
Right.
Sorry.
And well, that's the thing about soothing herbs is you can soothe someone to sleep.
Because we're the most vulnerable when we sleep.
Exactly. So I guess it's not too off topic to mention fatal herbs because, like you
Yeah.
said, belladonna is a very soothing herb that can eventually become very
Mhm.
fatal. Mugwort, you
Mhm.
mentioned, is a very soothing herb.
But it can be poisonous if
Yes.
used incorrectly. Same with the wormwood.
Yep, wormwood. And
And it tastes horrible. Like I had some mugwort in the tea earlier, and when it was hot, it wasn't bad. Once it got cold, I was like, "Oh, I'm done." But wormwood, I did a spell once with wormwood. It was like sipping turpentine.
oh,
And wormwood wasn't even like the only thing in the tea. It was just part of it, and not even the biggest part. But
speaking of nasty as fuck, but soothing herbs, we're gonna mention valerian.
it smells like ass.
It smells. It really does. Okay, first
If
of
your
all,
witchy friend says, "Hey, you want to smell this?"
don't. Like
Somebody did that to me.
to me, it smells like a dog has rolled in a dead carcass on the side of the road. That may or may not have been a smell. Like truthfully, that's what it smells like. Which is why, like, I don't understand how people be taking that shit in tea because if it smells that bad, it's gotta taste like rotten carcass. Also, you can take it pill form. They have it at Walmart where you can take it for the pill. It helps you sleep.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, but I wonder, can you imagine burping that shit up all day? No, thank you. I'm not a
Talk
fan.
about sulfur.
I know I am
just
not
feel
a fan
like,
of valerian,
mm.
but I do know that. Speaking of soothing herbs and pop culture, Outlander. She made a valerian infused like vodka or wine, and she gave it to everybody, and they passed the fuck out. She
Yeah.
you know, wait, that's an infused vodka is what's it called?
A tincture?
a tincture, but they was just taking shots.
Right.
So like they definitely out, but could also be fatal.
Fatal. Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, again, like once you start condensing these things and like extracting their oils, right, which is like kind of the condensed essence, right?
Right.
That it gets powerful.
It does, and that's why it's so important that people actually do their research when it comes to herbal
Yes.
medicine, as opposed to just listening to a random person on the internet
Or
or
a
just
podcast even. Like we
Yeah.
haven't gone into safety with these because
Yeah.
everything in moderation, guys. And educate yourselves. We will open the door for you, but
Right.
you must use the key to walk through.
One of the dangerous herbs that I was really shocked at that can be fatal, but you wouldn't even think so. Oregano. Oregano
much.
oil
Mhm.
concentrate can shut down the kidneys.
Well, and that's why I say like anything concentrated is like
Mhm.
not necessarily a good thing to utilize
Mhm.
because the act of concentrating things changes everything about it.
Mhm.
It truly does. So something that is healing
Mhm.
can become hurting.
But for this episode, I will say things like rosemary and oregano that you could hurt yourself by having too much of. If you're cooking with it, you're not going to be using that.
Right,
by
yeah. If you're using the fresher dried herb, and if you're just
If
you
you're
know,
having a tea,
if you're
should
having
be
a tea,
fine.
right, exactly.
It's mostly the concentrate.
Right, yeah. It's
The
even-
dab version
Yeah,
of the herbs.
exactly. It's like if you choose to have a cup of, basil and lavender tea once every evening,
Mhm.
you're probably going to be fine unless it's like a gigantic
Right.
like pot of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In which case you should look into because there's only so much anybody's body can handle any given thing. Like carrots. Look into it.
Oh God, you're so right. So with that, do you think we are coming to a close?
Yeah, I
on our
can't think
segment?
like we've covered all the herbs that I really had made note of. Like there's a million more herbs out there, guys. These are just the ones that we made note of.
If you have any soothing herbs or herbs that you like in
Did I say that out
particular,
loud?
yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
Or herbs that you like in particular to use when maybe you're feeling a little anxious or you want to go to bed or you just need some soothing treatment. Let us know in the comments if you're watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
If you are Death by DVD,
Pam
Victoria,
or Melissa,
we appreciate you very much. Thank you for being our supporters on patreon.com/witches talking tarot. If you would also like to become our patrons and get a spiffy little shout out as well as some other fun things, you can join the aforementioned four there and get your own spiffy little shout out.
you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Witches Talking Tarot.
And you can find us on the X at Classiest Witches because we are the classiest witches you know.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye. That was good. I like that.